Ken, for the first time our competition with history since 1955, PSG and I the first club I work with UEFA Champions League final and now then European Cup final. What's any opponent? Goal margin a 5. A being seeda. The first time a PSG I saw record no. A gamer obi bi odi initial bi ehun say PSG dominating Inter Milan. I want to be in questions adian. Inter Milan supporters are disappointed in the club because of performance. Omutimi de man team I friend say Inter Milan. Omambo mo homoden. By PSG mum am I a 5-star performance na no Saturday. So in as much as Inter Milan fans nani anje the performance no Ken the 5-star performance of PSG any idea na me pese me concentrate on. Na me acknowledge PSG bobuko no. Na me share adwuma Luis Enrique and the boys no etimi aye. Every aspect of the game, every details, bibia na ewo game nimbia no, it was all about PSG Football Club. Saturday, you analyze the game no. Me catch raw say PSG for be dominate game no. Na Luis Enrique at the 7 key elements ano yusu ediama PSG a se okora game bi as 7 key elements no the dominate your opponent. And so 7 key elements no a possession, pressing, fluidity and dynamism, attacking channels, wide play, positional flexibility and a direct play. So now no Saturday so we share PSG boboko na. Sa 7 key elements no and no mu yusu ya the dominating Inter Milan boboko no. And the board na ye witness say no. Say Inter Milan any PSG no de na okrabo no ye better na ye PSG boboko no. De na on krabo or ye better na ye PSG boboko no. So with the ball, without the ball, na ninjina no akwa ye PSG boboko no. So now no nsema na obi e kan ye say akwa one-sided game e ye PSG nkwa na ebobo no. Ken yem break game ne down. Inter Milan for no e ye boboko a. Enfa hu say omo ye defensive oriented team. Omo pese omo jibo obi on pese omo build it from the back. Na me kasha nyankopon anyimonyam say ade ma PSG for ni show mu bebrebe no. Enye se PSG attack na omo attack na omo ye ade asunku. By how a PSG for a defend ye and ma PSG for break you omo team no. So PSG e win is 5 goals no based on how a no mu defend. Enye ade change ye. Inter for ni jibo oni bia ken on person omo build it from the back. Na build omo build it from the back no. Eyi omo hia time, omo hia space, no omo dia build it from the back. So the moment I be share Inter Milan na on be struggle be say, omo time ni space no omo chiro omo. So you say game na se keno be kai a PSG for na di kan pass ye. PSG for pass ye na omo ball ni go through. Oh Inter Milan for half. You say game na say the first second PSG ball no ball ni go through. Na the game plan no omo person omo change Inter Milan for say omo ma Inter Milan form build it from the back. Omo the pressure be su omo so. So team e friend say PSG decided say omo be come man to man high pressing. And some man to man high pressing no e intensity and a commitment. And player no only the pressing, I am the hybrid role. Dembele. And so back here now no Kumasi City more. At the time Dembele could two bit said ye or kwa true me kana or press it. Abra no target yansoma na Dembele akoto. No be akasa na kwan be so na Dembele fa so press no. Na how yakasa ono na lead the press no. So adia me hu say PSG for decided somewhere and say omo ma PSG for Inter Milan for him feel comfortable on the ball. So Dembele operate as a hybrid player in terms of pressing. And what's the oppressing Yansoma? No oppressing Abrante friend said Bastoni. That was the job of Dembele. Then again, Abrante friend said Doué. Ebe presse Achebi. Kvaratskhelia ebe presse Pavard. Hakimi Ashraf ebe dina Di Marco so. Na Nuno Mendes esusu dina Danzel so. So the plan of PSG was to press team a friend say Inter Milan. Ewo Mankasa have mpachoko wenim. O Mankasa have. That was the plan. Ya assign play bia say obi engine obi aso. So team a friend say PSG for Inter Milan for ain't me build it from the back. Omo feel comfortable. Yan Soma esha left her. Player no original left no eye Di Marco. Oni space ho ye close Di Marco. Se ocha right here Danzel na ya close no. In fin for na was ye locate you omo no. PSG for me for this no abake up the press. Enti Yan Soma tunity a nanim ho Achebi Pava, Bastoni, ye press you on to me for one in Comomo. Osha lefter, Dimarco ye press no. Osha righter, ye press Danzo, in Finfi ho, Chanoglu Barella ye press you. So the only option for Abrante friend is say, goalkeeper no, Yansoma was to play long balls. And long balls no, how many players our PSG have? Just 2 forwards. So 2 forwards no, Lautaro Martinez and Turam. Lautaro Martinez in terms of high balls onye the best. So player ye ball long ball wasi ye kwano hono Turam. And anytime Dembele okweti Turam biano, na PSG for the 3 players are close down Turam. So king Turam eje ball nano, ubehu Pacho, ubehu Marquinhos, ubehu Joao Neves. No matter how close Abrante friends to Turam. So game no, Turam lose a lot of possession. So some ball long ball ne ko Turam ha. 3 key players from PSG closing down Turam. Say no me lose balls no. That was the reason why na PSG for Emma Inter Milan for kwine. Inter Milan for about 45 long balls. Sa 45 long balls no, emun 49% na ya accurate. Dia kan ni no mo say no. So easily say na PSG for lose possession. Say na ball ne say Inter Milan for because of how na PSG for air press your man to man. Intensity then commitment. Say to dem impokra na PSG for no Inter Milan for need to me breaki eba mfimfin wa. Players on one fin for Inter Milan say on be control game no. On be distribute balls no. On be create chances ediama Inter Milan team no. Eye Chanoglu, Barella, and Mkhitaryan. And also so PSG decided say on use a structured block. Structured block say who defend here or structure be at the best topic. And also so Luis Enrique on fin decided say bon be mfimfin ye use structured block. Ye be command to man. So PSG for no e man market Inter Milan for no mfimfin wa. Chanoglu ejebo na onhu bebi odebeko aje so ohwe okoneti ohwe the left and also ohwe the right. So game ne be no na backward passes and Inter Milan for abono eye bebre. Sideways passes eye bebre. Ken wey eye the full pitch. Hwede PSG die Inter Milan. Obi ama market obi abako wey full pitch. There was a proper plan from Luis Enrique. Player or PSG players no obi ama mark Inter Milan for players ne baako. So Inter for enye comfortable with the ball. A high pressing, intensity, then commitment. When your friend collaborative defending, that was the reason why at the end of the 90 minutes, you be Inter Milan say on shegu. Oh, nya chances ni bebre. Because of how Inter Milan for PSG for defending ye. Big ups to Luis Enrique. So obe kai picture bi ba abonten. At the time an Mbappe wo PSG. Luis Enrique Mbappe to na o kire ne kwan ye fa so e press ene kwan ye fa so defend enu bi na odi aye PSG team no enu bi na odi aye PSG team no so hwe kwan omu nyina fa so defend hwe kwan omu nyina fa so e make sure so mbe ka bom no me defend in numbers so ade abu omu pa na ye hawa omu limit Inter Milan for omu press omu show commitment omu show that intelligent omu press ni ye well calculated and coordinated. PSG for now, my Inter Milan for no, and feel comfortable with the ball. No goal, 2 shots on target, 1 big chance. We're not just we nullify your team no. We bubu crab because we're making sure so we press your man we miss our home na on bet me the crab no. And we know me and him say one team of boy efe se bo ni kura no nimbo. Otimi control game no, otimi attack pa no eye PSG bobuku no. And PSG for kire say obetimi attack through counter. Obetima attack through omo passing sequence. So anytime be a PSG for better say obetima be attack bia no a fluid structure. Sa fluid structure no e boa mo emo mutimi nya positional interchange. Sa positional interchange de ken picture yam dia to so hwe. Formation na e bae no na enye Dembele na obeka say o operate on number 9 rule. But mo attack ya Kvaratskhelia timi be hye ho. Dembele timi ko left, Doué timi ko right, Doué timi move ko left, otimi be mfin. There is player positional interchange. Omo timi interchange ana P Inter for no omo petima omo defend bi omo per man mark. So enam say PSG for no eye fluid. Omo timi interchange easily. Omo timi extend the pressure. No omo dia break omo timi no. And omo midfielders no etimi support because 3 midfielders ni no. In terms of early technicians no omo ye bia. Most especially a branch friend say Vitinha. And Vitinha being the orchestra. E wo timi friend say PSG. Ono na je ball. Opegenitia, yanko high movement, yanko low movement. Mami nyusu say, mami change direction. Enti ball ni nyina so mo attack here. Abrante friend say Vitinha no anu be gyina so a on na be make sure say obe control game no Ediama team a friend say PSG bobuku no. Enti PSG for team no, how we rotate here. Chomo front train no de chassis no. Kvaratskhelia shego. Doué Eshebi. Dembele about 2 assists. So the front train no na chassis no. Obia involved in terms of goals. We and your chance a team structures no year juma. It got to a time. Omo use omo passing sequence omo de be create. Omo timi use counter. No they are breaking Inter Milan team no. So in terms of set pieces, collective play, everything about this game, tactical standpoint, collective BM team friend say Inter Milan. Na omo ntimi njina PSG bobuku no. And you talk of individual brilliance. Apart from tactics, we collective play ni teamwork too. Individual brilliance na PSG for ne sa was rubebre ese inti me friend say Inter Milan chobi to say duwe akrake to receive ball odane ne ho obetwon untimi predict no no dia creative space e dia man teammate
na what drama so say loyalty so ya dia killing into team no because no more 2 players with team no more pra but once the players pra coach no wogidie woni ma kan obeti e di intima Lautaro Martinez da so gina ball no me bobo no bi Dimarco, the intimate or Bobonibi. Yes, our players for Munginano, Omonia fit. But as the Champions League final, on the pressure coach says on Bobby. But you won't send any.
Game number witness here. Sanka Inter Milan for credit you 14 players for PSG Bishop.
Just
Emfa. Fana na Emfa. Because your Bobo can you cast a team being a total dominance.
Oh, a woman, but once first goal is Sandy Mabibre. Now, no one say PSG say first goal mission Bibre. Because PSG should go and yet not was ya show how be pekana yede at the end will be good team no kra nti omo but international first go na nka be ma game no ayede
and ball now omo sha ase no plan was clear me see obi apon san kohwe full match ni bi me kra ma adwan ba so after the game na me sa kohwe game ni bi referee ni ball na ben ano ana omo ball ne ko through e wo pie Inter for ne half yes referee ni ball the first thing. Not science knows. Yeah,
the science was clear. But Simone Inzaghi na me ginidi no. Me wan say even second half mo ba na order so ne wa ma chebe ne Bastoni pass from. The back say omunya go kick ba. Just na menti omo say.
Omo sa bo ne longer.
There be omo because say o long. Na we players ni na through half. Na mo call long. Sa na so bono. Obo ne first half anyeye. Ne long o ko nyina say you locate to ramen ko.
That was omo game plan na one.
So and Pavard so ordinary begin again. Pavard boy untimembo we pra. And about no so buy no so. Inter the end say.
PSG na no deserve sa credit.
And say I will deny the man no pay your friend say.
Oh, Tapri Odio.
Okay.
Yes, son na wa.
Prako no so. But we the answer is on pepper ko na wo kroma bi akese ni bi. Mo de mo no from pa. Na de na ade anya bia mo de sheprako. Omunim say chief mate.
Nkofo number o.
Nkofo number ta ko yesa ko ayi asa ade enye no ana. Na coach asa e prako ne man.
Ade ha wana.
Oh, enye sa bebre. Me gina mama nipa bebre.
Ene kwa me gina mu mo say o dey also come.
You know, me share game na me witness na individual brilliance, Doué, excellent. Vitinha, calmness no Kvaratskhelia can the work rate attack on defense
na bakola kra na so she be 3 goals
na game na we so mo say 9
na so mo say 9
yes omo me say 4 key chances
that is
but yeah why you adwuma ni nyina no e Luis Enrique
oh yes that man
ana nipa so amani agem amano pa no e Marquinhos
okay
won say Marquinhos buy no oni Blaise Matuidi mo time omo nyina nti you know mame bo PSG for aba so omo deserve time
Luis Enrique enam na no win no wouldn't say no me stories and me compare dey no kwa you Chelsea or Babedu Barcelona e prate poto no who say obeka so do o ye bedi ho nkomo ha na ofi no ha na ebisa sa kwai o call ye no mo sesen and also on say no bisa no say asisen oh when anima one shouldn't show sign bia
on one in fact I remember that day
me part away close to 2 years ago
yeah
aya Barcelona na wako interview to ball mo and say niam ono beka so pe no omunyama no
ono open freedom
na ono aye ni team wa
hyehyɛ ni team
nkofo so beka se da bia
hey Chelsea the yenye ne so person see and but question
here a very good coach
kin
she team na odema Barca e mo de J
2015 Champions League
Wouldn't say even first half of the season and shut down say no. Na time I'm messing in them and Suarez mo come.
Omo pikia.
No omushia short say ebina washasha wa no.
Oh no, okay. Let me continue with what you said. 2015 Barcelona did not start well. After Champions League, almost the 15th to a league table this one. They did not start well. Almost first 5 games, almost lose miensa, almost winning Baku. Baku was the Girona last minute on goal from Girona 4 and almost share. So in the group stages, PSG were struggling. Now you see, the mama pe PSG team no say. The last time the Moose team be air dominating or be from crank to crank. Barcelona versus Manchester United. They say Alex Ferguson also that game, it was a total dominance game.
Oh, almost 35 minutes. Yeah. United won.
When they said Katashi
be firm.
Katashi. At that game, Barcelona ball bear 16 shots, 8 of them. 12 of them and they on target. Manchester ball 1 shot on target. That was the goal. Almost say.
Yes.
It was a dominance game. But wait, it's Barcelona the anymore.
We are not such a Barcelona no.
This could have been 10, 12. Come on, a difference.
Na emkrano mu free chiri ba no kra no. Akwa the crowd World Cup run your besianji.
Share. At minute 80. Na a 4-0. And a Dumfries foul ball be counter attack. 4-0. And a Kivicha Kvaratskhelia dreamy free him free giddy. Obesine permanent ball need free him. Then it's 4-0 80th minute ya pon on a normal day Kobe Abijay akwana sprint be yi ball ni different in same said Denzel Dumfries so when timi am ball na it was because of the work rate of Kivicha Kvaratskhelia. Nuno Mendes has been a better left back in the second half of the season, not because he's extremely good but because of the work rate of Kivicha Kvaratskhelia. Abra Yewura knockout stages. PSG ni Liverpool bobo. Ye game no. Na PSG about 24 shots. Liverpool ball 2 pe. Na Liverpool a show 1-0. Ewo Paris. 1-0 ewo Paris. Then right after the game, Dembele, Kivicha, boys ni nyina Luis Enrique, omu nyina so mo ba be she Liverpool at Anfield. That time Liverpool pizza no mesi bobo. Whoever thought, look at the confidence say Liverpool are best will feel 1-0. Who about Anfield or say me question Liverpool. They went to Anfield. The rest is a history. Washa Arsenal back to back. Go for na ball na o mo ball no. Ken. A boa possession wom. Yan pressing wom. Yan counter pressing a wom. Inti the man has built a very, very good team. Look, last year, na Obianim himself PSG for Beko finals. I'm not for refi. Bayern Munich ne Real Madrid na nebo semi-finals. Na PSG ne Dortmund. Obianim himself PSG for qualify finals. Meboa. Last year, I had the same Luis Enrique. Na ni team no, na yesheshe midfielder Vitinha, Zaire Emery, Fabien Ruiz. Na enim wo no, Ousmane Dembele. Kylian Mbappe and a Bradley Barcola. Now, in fact, Nipa Dodoana felt to say we're going to have a final of Paris Saint-Germain or Anase Bia PSG versus Madrid and Anase Bayern Munich. Only for us to go to the final, PSG for lose. It got criticized. It was normal because PSG in Dortmund, Obianim said Dortmund will be eliminated, but it did not happen that way. And I'm common you come afi PSG for be shi team wa okoto Joao Neves say on be replace Zaire Emery e wo midfield wo Mbappe eko yenfa desire do yi emra in January yenkover Kivicha Kvaratskhelia emra Ken nkofo no they've had better team than Inter Milan right from minute 1. Omo decided some press Inter Milan. Na Inter phone timi mo hwe ade a me blame coach ne kakra and say me kan twem na me kan me next issue. Inter Milan no money born in Barcelona. Ken be ba cho me boa. Inter ne Barca they weren't a better team than Barcelona. But Abra game ni mo here then Inter Milan for year Barcelona struggled. they decided to go for long balls. Inti oyi Francesco Acerbi se kojina nim hobi. Inti ball no tum. Barcelona were struggling for those air balls. It got to some point in time, I felt to say the 3-back was not necessary. Now was almost starting to say almost call long. Because clearly Marquinhos and William Pacho no more struggle, and especially now PSG for team no midfielders ni entia. What was the point? 2-0 we are down. You buy a stress. I mean come on some for from. Can me pamucho any die mu say but we say from a nakoya France for no as a nation or my fan say a project for Dembele for Ballon d'Or.
Dembele Ballon d'Or no baby e keka kwa no.
We say a project.
Once we see no.
I've seen it. Say a project for the French guys.
When was the last time a Frenchman GB?
Oh, Benzema.
Yeah, carry send Benzema.
But say Obobo France one day. And the way so no a campaign from the French guys and campaign from Real Madrid.
Madrid for so
Oh, me na the metimia can say experience with the Ballon d'Or. Me patron come me name be di anya we are some obi anya emotion asem obi a. Me pese me no din komo bi kakra. Experience with the Ballon d'Or. Ken, normally from August to December, ayana players at tabo within and your money Ballon d'Or. Last year, play being or no nimbo from August to December. Mama for the last season, cry a change Jude Bellingham. Mebwa when Jude Bellingham started his career at Real Madrid, he was all over. Those players are not close to him. Maybe Americans at that time need to Cruz feel for him more. But you are February no, and a Vinicius Junior Pejai. That time no Rodrigo goes West Manchester City for Cascante. Rodrigo Cascante. He was just an ordinary player of Manchester City team anymore. But the heroes and necessary bia. Me can you see so dia say? Afi ye start season no. Nan komo no gina Salah so. Na gina Kylian Mbappe so. Na gina Raphinha so. Me boa. Okay. You read the second part of the season. Every Salah, Mbappe, Raphinha, eba be di Pedri, Lamine, Yamal, Dembele so. None of the three players now you bought in the first half of the season, and they ran the second part of the season. It is a say, in Comono, Pedri asans way frame, Ababeya, Lamine, Yamal, and a Dembele. Now, this is where the situation is going to be. Watch this. Say, I can't Nations League. Enche yebe starti semi-finals na yo. And as answaka the Club World Cup. Unfortunately for Lamine Yamal, diaka obetinya ye bibi ewiase nyina be kai no the Nations League. Dembele advantage or wanna say obebo Nations League asanso about the Club World Cup.
But Nations League ebetimenya bibi one because Nations League say this is a be all about club football. Debbie Abrafone Europe from Nations League in India. In any case, semi-finals now Germany, Portugal, Confederations
Spain.
Cup.
But I say
Confederations Cup. They say
Ken Nations League or
Europe. Where Confederation in team so. Champion. Champions League every.
Oh, last year. And yet Eurosa in Lamine Yamal and Rodrigo Goes. Rodrigo Cascante came for Mudin Ballon d'Or no.
Because in the
tournament. Season Phil Foden played well.
Because a major tournament.
I understand. But Nations League, I want more to
okay.
I want Niagro. So 2 major tournaments. But the advantage Dembele, I want to say, Dembele bebo Nations League nibi. Or bebo the Club World Cup nibi. Inti Dembele as at this stage our advantage than the rest of his colleagues. However, now watch this. In common na me pesa many amount for Dini say Dembele no. Yeah, the numbers never judge na say yeah the day never judge born akasa born never judge.
Omo jini na never judge no. Waje treble or perform year or someone numbers.
Okay. Numbers. Raphinha was 34 goals this season. Dembele was 33 goals.
34, 33.
34, 33.
One goal.
Assist 22 for Raphinha, 13 for Dembele.
Okay.
So in terms of numbers, say numbers na ye dey be ya. We na so. And I want to find twice because say a numbers game with dia, then Raphinha is a bit ahead of Dembele. But this is where the problem is. Barcelona are not projecting Raphinha.
Omo Laman eba, omo de Yamin eba, de keka kone.
Say a Lamin dia, then numbers de Dembele the numbers nation baby. Because the only argument in favor of Lamine Yamal is a ball nankasabo, which I say is a ball nobody. Lamine a ball ni change Dembele baby.
So you're surprised even Due to Lamine.
I know there is disrespect to Lamine Yamal. Omo mo yesa no. I think a complete disrespect to Lamine Yamal.
Some of the young player.
Oh come on, Lamine Yamal. We try young player. Obi all pray for Ballon d'Or. On say omo person mo argument. They say krano Lamine Yamal and Ben Dembele. Name Lamine Yamal should go and compete with Desire Doe. It is a complete disrespect to this guy.
I didn't make a complete disrespect.
Can it season way yen share ball. Season way yen share ball.
Do it so perform against Liverpool.
Okay. Me say
these are big games.
Season ni mo Lamine
the final.
Lamine has been a bet.
Overall better player.
If so crowd be say Lamine Yamal design, I think it is complete disrespect to Lamine. It is not, the problem is that Lamine Yamal is chasing for the Ballon d'Or. Unfortunately,
chasing for the young. This is almost starting.
Me pamucho enye no asem. Say the myanka sa me nkomo no. Say eba numbers a na asesa nkomo no de ko ball. Say eba ball so no asesa ko de ko numbers. Me say e numbers any Rema Dembele dia. Raphinha has better numbers than him. Me ba chwa say a ball so ball no mo pese e di ho nkomo dia. Then I'll say Lamine Yamal has played better than him, but ni nyina mu no. Dembele won den e che mu mienu because he has won the Champions League.
Me da say
and now Osanso Club World Cup. Osanso Nations League. Now asema make can dey chat one say. Say Mbappe ya ni din ye out so ko Club World Cup. Na o the Real Madrid je. No oji go kini wo ho.
O de omoje dia.
Club World Cup no.
No, you hear ball na me who say the celebrate. One ball now mo share first go no. Hakimi. Big you we. Yeah. O German ko bele.
Oh.
Maybe so say Mbappe anko bele.
Obe pass.
The be over Baffa no.
Mbappe idea we last year she dey my interest na.
Biggie. So actually.
Me question na me be say no person we ya no ma say. Say Mbappe ekoje Club World Cup.
Enye.
Oh, me more scenario.
And dey mbam kra. What dey?
I don't know him.
Or G Nations League je ni na hwe mbam ensesa.
And that's sampa.
Or you go king.
No road relax or you no dey je.
Mbappe
so the last part of the
na nti wo
ya Sikin me pa mucho ye beto aba no a.
Mbappe na
recency bias nkomo.
French Football Federation na no. Omo say Mbappe na
kasa.
Ombo Dembele.
And I may say to visa Mbappe be yes. Mbappe was 43 goals this season.
And Mbappe ntimi ka say.
No, I am creating a scenario to was 43 goals this season. Our numbers change our boys where you go. But why oh, David team Pacho say on leg no bon. Pacho too. Mbappe our numbers change our boys ni nyina. But the reason why we are not mentioning Mbappe is that one funny team na nya hwe na me say our window bi wo ha. Sa time na ye ba beto aba which is the Club World Cup. Into so Real Madrid ko gino gi go king wo ho. Plus ebi our Nations League sanso gia. Ya wa ha hu di be.
Ene me da say. Biggie. Saudi o ba bia mo na.
Can as we speak the I am for Dembele.
Hey. As we speak. Na say na ye kasa na say me na okay.
I said I make say idea.
Ada da foforo bi be ba ma wase san wadwen.
Say aba no nye sisi na ye beto no.
Okay.
Nti ye bebo ada matches ne tournament aka ho.
Kwa me se yentwentwen so na.
Ede se yentwentwen so.
And others in the conversation be about say Mbappe to me kwaje Nations League san kwaje Club World Cup wabama na the one that do be bam sisi ayen test
ken obabam because udi Dembele ne Mbappe si won ma Mbappe mo du change Dembele o ni mo du change Dembele in the football world. It is Mbappe enya numbers kakra bia na so nya achievement bi ka ho a it puts him in a better place
so
than
you think
Dembele.
say France for no best so madrin on Mbappe or mo project Mbappe for Ballon d'Or all of a sudden you say yakwaje you know masesa no on be sir
e betimi asi
okay
kenam Inter Milan and Paris Saint-Germain two coaches are respectively building good projects for themselves and the Kokoshia We Inter Milan project now, the level they have got into. And your coach, friend, says Simeone Inzaghi, and they share this particular project. On your consistency any time, and or build the team, no, and Baby do this kind of level. Champions League final, no, that against Manchester City. It's coming here again at this particular stage. Now you move to do a few the experience now again, you know, and no, with the same team. Any a chunk of this playing body, so consistency in the Juma because football and pain baby they say per results. I am not consistency in the technical team, any consistency in the playing body. Ebuama achieve that kind of results. I know so what share. Emma on sati me come near my back. Emma near my sister. It's now you move to do a few say. And got consistency na Inter Milan team nenya. Technical team nenya any bibiano. Ebe put you more up there. But unfortunately, and near my sister our finals anymore. Emma Paris Saint-Germain Bobo no a first timer and so ababa before the trophy. Can I dear Kwame who Inter Milan team in the say? Only Inter start game. Now to me holding Inter Milan team year and paying baby no. The kind of changes are coach in the Bayano and times is giving him from my Inter. Obi bet me about the game against Barcelona. Fratesi move free bench. Eba be a lot of changes they will game him. That is very true. Eventually, almost we need that particular game. But me share Inter Milan team like it almost siana. A lot of the positions are park and so no. Say we are doing as a coach in here changes are. You don't see players are more equal quality to some more be free no. I can only be confident talking about their defensive line. Nipa mi ensa na ebo achiri hono no. Say who ye changing out the Yambiseke ba. Who ye changing out the Stefan de Vrij ba. Ababa be chemua. They have the kind of quality betting me matching the standards of obo move free no. But kin say who ye no ni free hono ma. Look at their midfield. When things were difficult, I can't tell no glue film no. Aslan in Ebem. Aslan the performance and you're convincing. And better I no glue there no. Etibana obebem and for difference beyond so in ma. Who ye player your friend said Dimarco film. Who is coming in? Dumfries in Freeman. Who is coming in? Omo any mu hono no. Lautaro Martinez and fit. But coach decided so obebonu because Emrantie mienu na te bench as strikers no. Only Gideon was Amrantie mienu nimu. Marco Arnautovic, Mediterranean. These are good players from clubs and womb. And on Bepiemu Inter Milan. But no buy no. And yaman go yem from Maomo. And to the Inter Milan team, I who you know. Just hold them and hold them very well. Who to me hold you no man a good gamer. And paying baby, I won't be free bench bebano. And add a lot of quality to the squad. And an only play advantage to the Paris Saint-Germain team. Me can say on Saturday no. Bona ye kwa no. Inter Milan attack from the flanks. And who per player ba kwa? Why it difficult to beat if you are flanksman this season? And you Nuno Mendes. It would do any better than fry so. On to me more my own judgment achieve the intended success. Paris Saint-Germain in every department of the game almost stop your flanks in the way, you know. How appear Inter Milan team be attack centrally. Omo make sure say Hosomba stop your move because the ball they quack of fanfin one marking this season in the Champions League. Player why a lot of tackles say won finfi. Jao Neves. And obe stop you won finfi. It's at the end of the day. Channel be out be attack be any problem be bro untimi nya adwuma and ultimately be useless. In komoya me din na ken e center on one person. Coacher your friend is Luis Enrique. Ono necessary dey abasobo ni nyina ma no. Paris Saint-Germain.
O man pay ni bonabaso.
O deserve it. Paris Saint-Germain started a project since Akata Sports Investment go to team in 2011. Can almost to team no almost here to talk big name players. Some of the bat team. At that time, no more football for entertainment purposes. Any attention. Players are no more do mobile. From Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Thiago Silva, Javier Pastore, Ezekiel Lavezzi, any host of other players, big name players, Di Maria no money idea. No more say so more do mobile. No more pay the world's attention to say the Saudi Arabia for no. Your top players naba. Now we are see Adrenia by so. It's almost yes, I don't know attention new year, and I feel almost a derby. They have to do football business. Yanko fa Lionel Messi, Yanko fa Neymar Junior, Yanko Kylian Mbappe, Niem Fanamra. No more me boy, na football business na fei. Yantimi achieve a lot of success, and so continentally because domestically you achieve those successes. And almost fast our players and so do mobile. Almost for a lot of managers and so do mobile. But the highest point of Nyaman Koye was when Kylian Mbappe was leaving. Kylian Mbappe, the club's all-time top scorer, watching 256 goals, and the Diama Paris Saint-Germain. And the Bisa Luis Enrique say, Kylian Mbappe ko almost prolific striker ko se si obey ne den papa ne say ono ne few say Kylian Mbappe ko a the team ni be better without Mbappe.
Okay, so assembly last
yes last year 2024 February and we make that statement. If you want to man for so more hell me na so say yam yan bi adwembo ne ta akiri eti nipa te akiri
Madrid ye ne bi
and o mo hwe so so betimi aye yama ne ye ni ehwe ade and o mo ja team na ma papa no and na all build the project no domestically no dominate but in the Champions League no mo hwe o mo cry prepare na ken na ye difficult the amomo it o mo ball first 6 matches e wo group stages nim no na Paris Saint-Germain team na win just 2. He had to take them the last 2 matches in the group phase and o mo benya qualification to the knockout phase and o share Man City o ko share Stuttgart the rest has been history. Enti de ye hu ni nei ye wo obi a ye de abaso baba no se wa bɔ ne homoden a share project a papa e friend say Luis Enrique
English teams no share do saying
o share Manchester City and o share group stages Arsenal share no knockout on so share Arsenal home and away and o share Liverpool so
but San Charles
and then Aston Villa
as England for a show pa
ai we obi a wo ho enti I feel say Paris Saint-Germain they've done extremely well. As we speak, he's the second manager after Pep Guardiola. Or the 2 different teams are the treble. And Paris Saint-Germain bo boko no. Em fa won say Champions League no munji bi da no. No munji continental treble so da. And it has been achieved by coach Luis Enrique. History ne beko, records beba because they are set to be broken. Obi beba be Champions League ni mienu miensa 9 e dey ama PSG maybe e beba. But history is never going to forget coach Luis Enrique because he was the first man to do it for Paris Saint-Germain when they needed it most.
Me that say aye big